Yes, sir. You already know what's going on. You know what time it is. Your favorite cousins are back. I am your host, Cam Silver.
I am your co-host, Kyle Silver.
And welcome to the Silver Boys.
Yes, sir. We back in stew.
Feels real good.
Yes, sir.
Feels real good. But things have died down obviously with free agency now that everyone's kind of found a new home or has been able to re-up on their old home. But we did get a couple of other movements going around. So Kings have decided to trade for Demar Derozan. It's a sign-and trade actually. So Demar Derozan will be signing for 3 years, $70 million plus. And they'll be sending Harrison Barnes to the Spurs, Chris Durante, and 2 second-round picks in cash to the Bulls. Kings will also send Spurs a 2032 unprotected pick swap. So, decent trade, doesn't really move the needle.
I'm feeling the exact same way.
Doesn't really do anything for me. The Kings are obviously a good squad, but they're, like we always talk about, I feel like something that we say literally every time we come up on here and we talk about the NBA, the West is just very, very, very deep.
Yeah, exactly.
And I feel like they're just gonna be in the middle, in that middle pack, that, 5th, 6th, 7th and on range. And DeMar, as much as I love DeMar, I'm a huge fan of DeMar. I love his game and everything, but he's not going to be the guy that really, makes them contenders.
Yeah, he's not the guy that's going to bring them over the hump. Because, they almost, they gave Golden State a good run for their money a couple years ago. They had a solid playoff run, trying to get into the playoffs. So I look at them like a Cleveland right now, where they're just kind of in the mix, but they're not really good enough to get over the hump, but they're not bad enough to actually be in the play-in either. Right. Like De'Aaron Fox won't allow that, and those boys, Malik Monk and them. So they won't allow that, but it's not moving the needle in the slightest, especially with the powerhouses of the West. You still got Denver, you still got Dallas, you still got a bunch of other teams. OKC, it's a lot of teams out there. Timberwolves. It's a lot of teams out there that are still vying for that top spot. Yeah. So I'm glad he back in Cali though. He home. Yeah. He's gonna be home with his people. His people could come see him. Actually, it's not like he in Chicago no more. So maybe he'll enjoy actually being there, and maybe things change. To change the scenery is always nice for certain players.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it came down to the Heat and the Kings, and like you said, ultimately he just wanted to be back home in Cali, which makes total sense.
I don't know. Jimmy and him, they're kind of like the same player. Yeah,
they're the exact same player. The only difference is that DeMar actually plays.
Yeah, true.
That's the only. True. That's literally the only difference. But other than that, I like I said, doesn't really do much as of right now. Probably won't do much, into the season or whatever. But just something different, for everybody. So you never know. You never know what can happen. Other things that have happened, Franz Wagner signs a 5-year max rookie contract worth up to $270 million. The exact contract is 5 years, $224. But wow.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
Like that. Yeah. You could have told me 224
for 5 years.
Up to 270.
Franz Wagner.
As much as I love Franz is he's someone that I've watched since college, since the Michigan days. He's a Swiss Army knife. He could do it all, both on the offense and defensive side. But I'm just not. I couldn't give him that price. I would never give him over 200.
For 180 or something.
Yeah, I would never give him over 200. That's just me personally. And it's not just because, like I said, I love the kid, but he has the tendencies to disappear. He's still young, so obviously he has tendencies to disappear. Paulo Banchero is obviously the head of that Magic team, and Franz is in that second spot, but that second spot I don't believe deserves a 224.
Orlando, they paying nicely, I guess. They paying their players nice.
Yeah.
Down over there.
Yeah.
I don't really have much to say on that. Much to like, cause I don't really watch Orlando like that. But
nobody does, unless you're down in Orlando.
I mean, I only watch for Paolo Banchero. But besides the point, I mean, shout out, I'm happy to see a brother get paid. Happy to see anybody get paid, get their money. But 5 years for $200+ mil it's a lot. Yeah. That's a lot.
Yeah,
that's a lot. But they were probably looking to get PG, so they probably would have gave him maybe some of that bread, a lot of that bread too.
Yeah.
So the fact that maybe they didn't get Paul George, they were like, all right, Franz,
we gotta pivot.
You could come down into this pike and actually get the bread now, and we could secure you and maybe progress you forward. You know what I mean? So maybe that was just the philosophy behind it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It is what it is on that one. Finally got our first look at Team USA.
Yeah.
Looked, in the first, I watched most of the first half.
Mm-hmm.
Not much of the second, but first half obviously expected sloppy.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone trying to get used to each other again. Everyone, just trying to get back into. Now I'm not gonna say get back into shape, but just trying to get back and find a rhythm.
Yeah.
Especially with different teammates and everything like that. But by that second half, the talent. And just them working their tails off on defense. Defense was really, really good. I was really impressed with their defense. Everyone was locked in.
Mm-hmm.
I think they had something like 20 steals or something like that, if I'm not mistaken.
I think AD had himself 3 blocks.
Yeah.
3-4 blocks.
Yeah, AD had a 10 and 10 with 3 blocks. Yeah, and that was good to see because it's funny. A lot of people are now just actually finding out how good Anthony Davis is
as a defender.
It's just wild to me because it's literally every year that he's able to at least play majority of the season, he's literally a defensive player of the year candidate all the time.
Yeah,
so
easily.
But I was fairly impressed. I liked what I seen from everybody, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what they could do in Paris.
Yeah, no, me too. I'm excited for USA basketball. I'm just excited to see all of these guys actually having to gel with each other, having to go up against international competition. And Canada is not no slouch. That's an all NBA roster, right? That they have too. Besides Dylan Brooks, but Dylan Brooks is still a good defender.
I mean, I was to say he's a good role player.
Yeah, exactly. So, and you still got SGA, you still got Jamal Murray. Canada is no slouch whatsoever.
Kelly Olynyk, they have a squad over there, and they came out strong.
They did. They most definitely did. But you could tell the firepower of the USA was just too much because when you got Curry and you got Braun, who's still just hammering down the lane at almost 40 years old, 39 years old. Nobody's going to be able to stop that.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to be able to guard that. And they got size on the interior, which is great because, you got Bam, you got AD, Joel, but Joel cannot be fouling out. He played all 12 minutes. He cannot be fouling out in the beginning of the third quarter.
That my thing, you want to know what's funny? When I seen the starting lineup, I was very this isn't gonna work. when I seen the starting lineup, obviously it's just the first. It's just the first exhibition, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at this. I'm like, who was it? It was Steph. It was Drew Holiday.
It was Steph.
There was a third guard because there was 3 guards out there.
It was Devin Booker.
D-Book, yeah.
It was D-Book.
I'm like, okay, those 3. I'm like, all right, that doesn't really work, but okay. And then Braun and Joel. Everyone else moved the ball perfectly. It was Joel.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Joel cannot sit there and be like, okay, it's Joel time. That's
He's
not how.
He's trying to go post you down and he going to try and draw the foul.
That's not how this works. This is FIBA.
Yeah.
FIBA doesn't reward those baiting fouls and stuff like that. That's not how this works.
The competition is much tougher. In terms of actual physicality of FIBA, you ain't getting them same calls. I saw guys like Jason Tatum trying to get calls too, a little bit, and he putting his hands up and that. A lot of that's gonna have to stop.
Yeah,
a lot of that's gonna have to stop. The foul, the complaining to the refs. These FIFA refs they're not gonna
call that.
No.
And that's the disconnect from NBA to the rest of the world, but going back to Joel has to figure out to play team basketball.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. The thing about FIBA, the thing about the international competitions, that you have to move the ball. You have to be very precise. You have to make quick decisions, and you have to be, on top of your game. You can't just sit there and, you're sitting there just trying to, gauge where everyone's at. And then after you're trying to back somebody down. The court is smaller. You know what I mean? Like the court is smaller, and then don't be afraid to use everybody else. You literally have an all NBA roster.
An all-time NBA roster.
This is an all-time, exactly, it's an all-time NBA roster. You're literally playing with Hall of Famers, with current Hall of Famers, and Bron and Curry and the rest of them, with future Hall of Famers, with Ant and them coming up, and Jason Tatum and them coming up. You know what I mean? So he'll figure it out. Obviously, they have, if I'm not mistaken, I think they have like 4 more exhibition games. So I think he'll easily figure it out. But yeah, that was the biggest takeaway for me, was just the fact that he has to figure out, just to play together with everybody.
You know what I noticed too? What I think they're going to be doing a lot of is a lot of up and down transition.
Yes.
I think that's going to be like their
that's going to be their bread and butter.
That's going to be their strong suit. And then, so that brings me to question, like, do you start AD instead of Joel then too? Because AD has a better chance of running the floor versus Joel.
I want to keep AD in his 4 spot. That's what I want.
True.
AD is strongest at his 4 spot. I always go back to that 2020 NBA championship.
Gotcha.
He's
the strongest at the 4.
At the 4, and it showed in this game too. He's strongest at the 4. As long as there's somebody else, there's another big man with him that can pair up with him and lock down that paint. He'll do whatever you need him to do. He had Bam right there. Bam was another force at the rim. He's not,
Facts.
you know what I mean?
Facts.
He's not gonna just let
Bam
anybody come in there.
It's crazy because AD might probably got Bam by like this much in height, but Bam will play the 5.
I think Bam is only like 6'9".
Bam isn't like
He's
tall,
not that tall because AD is 6'11".
Yeah, and then KD's taller than Bam, but Bam is playing the 5. Like Bam is a certified 5 at 6'9". Think about that. And then AD can play off of him, so like maybe that's a lineup too.
And that's why I feel that second lineup was stronger than the first one.
That second lineup, when you got Anthony Edwards and you got like those Jason Tatum,
with Bam, with AD, I forgot who the other guard was or the other forward was.
It was Hallie. It was Hallie.
Hallie.
And then somebody else too.
Hallie was amazing.
Hallie was amazing. He was doing his thing.
It's funny. A lot of people were obviously questioning why Hallie was on the team, but if you actually look at it, it makes perfect sense.
He is also a quintessential point guard as well. Like
he's
gonna find his guys before he finds his shot.
He's easily the best pass first player in the league right now. Might be one of the only. Pass first players in the league right now, and he fits this team perfectly.
In terms of like doing that transition offense, that second lineup, you can do that like so well.
Yes,
because JT's still young, Ant's still young, and they're gonna be running up and down the court with no problem. So they shouldn't have a problem. Like, I really don't think that they should have a problem. It's just about really gelling, I think, and like actually, keeping that defensive intensity.
Because it's gonna everything for them is gonna start on the defensive side.
Yeah, I think everything's gonna start with like that 4 and the 5 man on the defensive side.
As long as the defense, they're getting deflections, they're getting steals, they're protecting the rim, they're forcing the other team to take wild shots. They'll be fine. They'll be fine. Because then after that, like you said, you got guys like Curry, Bron, running in transition. What am I gonna do with that?
I genuinely hope, sidebar, I genuinely hope just like one game in the Olympics, Steph just goes out and he just like bangs like 13 threes. That would be crazy.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised either. I'm just saying, I really hope that he goes out there one game and they're all like, "Here, I want you to go break this record, Curry."
I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Because
he was 3 for 6.
Yeah,
so
he gonna once he finds it, like he really finds it, it's over. It's over.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be surprised about that one at all. But yeah, I've been just very satisfied. And what I've seen.
Me too.
Last night. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what we're going to see over the next week with the exhibitions. And then obviously after that, officially going into...
We do got to... We don't have to get into it right now, but we do eventually got to get into Derek White being
Let's talk about it now. We don't got nothing else to
Oh,
talk
so
about.
Derek White replacing Kawhi Leonard, with Team USA. I would have had JB though too.
I like it.
You like it?
Yeah, no,
Really?
because you have to think about it like this. Look at the wings. We have Devin Booker at the wing. We have JT at the wing. We have Ant Edwards at the wing. I already have, I got Bron, I got KD at the wing. I already have strong wing players. I want another glue guy. Who's that other glue guy that's going to do everything for me? I want, you know what I mean? Derek White doesn't have to score.
Derek White
could just sit there and just play.
Exactly.
He could just sit there and play defense to go along with his teammate and Drew Holiday. Two all defensive players on the perimeter. And then after that, I got my other defensive players in Bam Adebayo and AD and Joel Embiid. You know what I mean? Like, what are you really gonna do with that? As much as I love JT obviously would have deserved the spot too. But I need a team player. You know what I mean? JB, as much as I love him, he does force a lot of the action. And we just talked about with Joel, you can't force any action in FIBA. FIBA's gotta force the action in places. That's the NBA. But FIBA, I need the whole team together, and I understand. And obviously, I had the same reaction as you at first, but as Grant Hill described it, as I watched on ESPN with Zach Lowe describing it, I started to understand. I'm like, okay, because you need to build a team.
Yeah, exactly. I could understand the pick over Kyrie just because of like what you just alluded to. Like I could count on Derek White to be like the dirty go get it guy instead of like the finesse like of it and looking pretty for the Olympics and then actually going out and getting the dub. So I can agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
But I'm glad Kawhi is like low key out of there because I just feel like he wasn't gonna get that much playing time anyway.
It was disappointing, but it wasn't surprising.
I wasn't even
disappointed. I think that the name of that is disappointed, but not surprised because
it's like why even have him show up at that point? Y'all knew y'all knew y'all was gonna make him withdraw.
We all knew it because, and the funny thing is, they said when he got there, he had a limp. He just didn't look good. Ty Lue is the assistant coach on the staff. You got the general manager. You also got Lawrence Frank for the Clippers. He's there at the practices, watching, and everyone made a consistent decision where it's like he can't play.
No, not at all.
He cannot play. So and I'm with you. Like, why even just bring him there in the first place when you could have just brought in a Jaylen Brown, a Derek White, a Kyrie Irving, or whoever else that was going to fit the squad. You know what I mean? You could have had anybody. But I understood why they picked Kawhi because Kawhi is obviously one of the top players in the league.
Exactly.
But at the same time, they should have known after they got bounced in the first round to the Mavs, where it's like, oh yeah, this isn't going to work. The dude can barely walk. He played what games 2 and 3. In that first round series, and he didn't look good at all.
Which is so if everybody could see that coming from a mile away, why not just put Derek White on that line on the team in the first place?
Exactly.
Like why not?
That was frustrating. That was very frustrating because you guys, they could have easily.
I feel like we were just waiting for that report.
We were just
waiting for that report that Kawhi wasn't actually going to be playing.
Yes, and then obviously the question mark was who would replace him. But yeah, no, I'm with you. Like we were literally just waiting on that one report right there. They could have handled that a lot better.
It is what it is, though. I guess, right? It is what it is.
It is. Sure is.
It is what it is. I was really ready to fight somebody on that Jaylen Brown, on Derek White over Jaylen Brown, but you calmed me down.
Yeah, no.
Thank you.
Like I said, it's more of a team thing. It's as much as the individual and Jaylen Brown would do his thing and he would
I was just thinking Eastern Conference Finals MVP.
Yeah, you're thinking of the accomplishments.
Like what he was actually doing to get that team there.
Yeah.
But
then you also forget
what Derek White
means,
and
that
the fact that he's tandem with Derek White and Drew Holiday.
Exactly. And also the fact that, he's someone who could handle the rock. He's someone who can knock down threes. He's someone, like I said, He was literally one of the best shot blockers in the league. You can't even get a layup or a floater on him.
No, you can't.
You can't get anything on him.
He's going to get that.
He's
Facts.
literally tossing everything back.
Facts.
He's picking your pockets. He's doing, you know what I mean? He's locking you down. He's a glue guy. He's a glue guy. He does whatever the team needs to be done, and that's how you win.
And with this type of team, that's what you need.
Exactly.
That's what you need.
Exactly, because you already have so many and that was the biggest thing. You already have so many scores. Like look at the starting five that he put out just in the top four with Curry, Joel, Braun, and D Book, and then after that you got Tatum and Ant coming off the bench along with AD. You know what I mean? Those are scores.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So me adding on another score is like I only have one basketball.
Yeah, I think that's the crazy thing.
I only have one basketball,
but you got like 8 dudes that could all average like 35 plus.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's the reason why I was like, okay, I understand now.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm like I said, I'm very, very excited to see what this team
Most
does.
definitely.
You know, ever since what was it last year when they lost in FIBA, they were and like the World Cup or whatever. I forgot what it's called. But yeah, ever since they lost in that third place game to Canada to this exact same team, they were like, okay. Everyone got real pissed off.
They were like, we can't have this no more.
Everyone got real pissed off, and I loved it.
Once they called Braun like Captain America was going to get Tony. like that's how they called Braun. Yep. Hey, we need you, bro.
Yeah,
we need you. The Avengers have been formed, guys. They just fought their first battle.
I think once everybody seen Braun was on, I think everybody else like KD, Steph, everyone else kind of just fell in line. They were like, okay, we'll be here.
Steph definitely.
We'll be
Steph definitely. Like, yeah. Absolutely.
Those two been waiting to play with each other.
Fact.
Those two been waiting to play with each other. Because I think we all know that they just won't do it in the NBA. They just won't team up. Because, you know, I think Steph is just too loved in Golden State. And he would never leave. And Braun isn't leaving LA. He found his home. Exactly. They're both gonna retire where they are right now. So I think this is, you know, obviously they've been waiting.
And it's not like it's just like a one game like it's an all-star. Like we got time together. Months.
We got
months together.
We got time together. We got time together. So yeah, no, this is gonna be real fun.
It's gonna be good basketball. It's gonna be real good basketball.
Another thing that's obviously been going on, Summer League. Summer League. We haven't gotten to the Vegas, you know, as of right now because we're recording on Thursday. So when you guys hear this, we will be officially in Vegas. But just, you know, things that you've seen from the Cali tournament up in the Bay and the Utah tournament.
I'm actually liking what Zach Edey's doing. I've been paying attention to him because he was somebody, you know, mentioned on the pod, you know, when he got drafted. I'm liking the way he's looking. You know, still got a lot of room to grow, obviously. He's still a young cat. But I'm liking the way he's looking. I'm liking, like, you know, just the ferocity that he's playing with, and like, you know, the actual, like, how he's looking like he wants it. You know, so I'm liking that. Like I said before, I'm real interested to see how, like, you know, they're gonna use him with Ja and Desmond Bain and, you know, and Triple J.
Yeah.
So I like that a lot. You know, Bronny, you know, he just playing. He, you know, it ain't like a needle mover, but, you know, he playing. I ain't mad at him.
Yeah, no, he's actually playing a lot better than I thought. You know, everyone obviously, for the casuals out there, for the people that don't really watch basketball and only pay attention to like the points and things of that nature, that's not what you're really gonna get from Bronny. No. You have to actually watch the game in order to know he's the Derek White. Exactly. He's gonna be the glue guy. He's a defender. You know, so and he did a really, really, really good job for the most part from everything that I've seen and defending guys, you know, and stripping the ball away.
And he got a real smooth jumper.
He has a smooth jump shot. You know,
like once his pull up is very smooth.
Once he's able to smoothen that out and he's able to find a good rhythm and he finds his spots on the floor, because that's one thing that I don't think people understand. The reason why we could praise guys like Kevin Durant, Bron, Steph, and the rest of them. The reason why those guys are all on, the Olympic team is because those guys know their spots on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
These guys coming in, they don't officially know their spots on the floor yet. So once they figure that out, like once Bronny figures that out, once he's able to smooth it out, he's able to catch a rhythm from three. Because if you watched some of his stuff before, like in high school and stuff like that, you could see he could shoot it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He has a really good jump shot. But once he's able to smoothen that out a little bit, you'll start to see, the points go up. You'll start to see like he'll be hitting some games where he's hitting like 3 for 4 from 3, 5 from 6 from 3 type things. So I'm low key impressed. Obviously, he's gonna be in the G League for the most part this season. But I like what I see.
Mm-hmm. And I've been seeing Khalil Ware too, right?
Yeah.
He's been doing his thing.
Yeah, no, he's tough.
Doing his thing.
Tough.
Yeah.
Tough. Yeah, no, these first couple of games that I've seen, really, really good on his part. Like seeing Dalton connect. He was able to find himself in that Heat game. So he looked real good too. But Vegas is gonna be where it's at. Because now we get to see everybody.
Yeah.
We get to see a little bit of everybody. I think the first 2 picks play each other Friday. Night in Atlanta and Washington. So the first 2 picks get to play each other on Friday. We get a look at Minnesota, who's a team that I've been really wanting to see with with Dillingham and my man's Terrence Shannon Jr. Yeah. So I'm excited to see those teams. Memphis has a pretty good squad for a G League team, for a summer league team. Zach Edey, Gigi Jackson II, Scottie Pippen Jr., Cam Spencer.
Oh yeah,
that's a team right there.
Memphis could be on the come on. They better watch out.
Oh yeah, kind of terrified a little bit.
They better keep them all together. That's all I know. You better just raise them up together.
Easier said than done.
I know, right?
Because eventually everybody gonna want their money. If everyone pans out to be who they are, everyone's gonna end up wanting that money.
Facts.
And, obviously Ja's gonna be the one leading the way on that one. So, but I think the Memphis actually has some pretty good. They actually filled in some needs that they really needed.
Yeah, most definitely. They had a good draft.
Yeah,
they had a really good draft.
Yeah.
Now that's how you're supposed to draft NBA teams.
Yes,
yes.
Draft by need.
Not by want.
Draft by want. Exactly.
Not by name.
Oh man, look at him. No.
Oh my goodness.
Before we get up out of here, Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
We don't have like a lot of time with it right now, but just like impressions on the Hard Knocks all season. So this is the first season with Hard Knocks is doing it all season. So like where you get to see the behind the scenes of what actually happens
in the front
office, what happens in the winter time, what happens when they're recruiting, looking at scouting at these draftees. So you're a Giants fan, so talk to me.
I'm so disappointed. I'm just so sad and just so disgusted. Any more words?
Funny thing is, we haven't even gotten to the part where he actually
oh man, that's the only part I care about.
Where Saquon actually does leave. We haven't even gotten to that part
that's the only part I care about, man. It's just gosh.
Yeah,
they have nothing going for them. They didn't have had nothing going for them. Just a moribund franchise for all I care. Just looking lost. Like a lost puppy out in the middle of the road. That's the Giants. I really hope Daniel Jones proves me wrong. And I hope this front office proves me wrong too. But Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. It's just, you see the mistakes that they made. You could see like how they go about the process of it. It's not like I'm mad like actually about it, but like I'm upset as a fan.
Right.
Like, it's just certain things that
could have
piss
been
people
avoided.
off.
It's certain things that could have been avoided.
Exactly. That could have been very well avoided had they just handled things a little bit better and actually prioritize certain people over other people. But I guess they prioritize health and over
youth
and health.
That's another thing.
Over anything else.
Have you ever seen what Joe Shane was talking about with the data on the running backs? Youth is another thing.
And that's so stupid. It's the only position. It's the only position in the NFL where they talk about age.
Yeah.
They'll let you play to 40 if you're a quarterback, though. They'll let you play to 43.
Yeah, as long as
and
you
still
stay
get
up.
paid $180 million. But the running back is just garbage.
Yeah, that's
It's just garbage.
Yeah, it's been tough to watch. That's a tough one to watch.
Every time I try and give him a chance, man. Every time.
They always know how to squander it.
Jesus Christ.
But that's our episode for this week. Tune in next week for more Summer League stuff, for more USA basketball, and more on disappointing Giants fans and the Giants offseason Hard Knocks. Till then, I'm your host, Cam Silver.
I'm your co-host, Kyle Silver.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. The dude who was there for 2 years, I don't even know his name. The guy who was calling Saquon.
Shane?
Huh?
Shane?
That was his name?
Joe Shane?
Joe Shane?
Mm-hmm. The general manager?
That's okay. I just didn't like how he was like, I think the fair thing is let you test out the market. He was like, but we'd love to have you back. Could you he was like, you gonna give me your word on that? You gonna let us hear it out or whatever? And Saquon was just like, yeah, I appreciate y'all. I was like, yep, he's going. As soon as he heard those words, he was like, I'm out of here.
That's a rough watch.
It's like that's where you start to turn your head and you're like,
yeah, because I remember I came home and I was watching that episode and I was like, shit. I was like, he did not play that one right. But you win some, you lose some. Like I don't blame him. Like he had to, he had to do something. But
and then even some of the other dudes that were in the room with him though, when they were trying to figure it out,
and the personal, the director of player personnel,
and they were both like, no.
What's going on, everybody? It's Cam Silver from the Silver Boys. If you like our content, subscribe to the channel and like our videos. Thank you for watching.